all time.
God damn fucking
I'm not,
internet.
and I still know you like it. There you go.
All right.
Nick, what the fuck?
Yeah, I just reset my internet too because the last time I didn't reset it, but it came back. But this time I proactively reset it. All right, so if you guys,
I'm recording again.
Okay, yeah, I stopped mine because it fucking died. So, all right, I started again, and yep, Dan, sound check whenever you're ready.
Ribs. I had ribs for lunch.
Justin.
Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3.
See, Winters, I coached you through the Loisaw sound check, and I assumed you were going to do that.
Check, sound check.
Perfect. That's like the part. You nailed it. You're coachable. By the way, I want to point out before we start, I don't remember what episode it was, but like your wife said that I could check out your IMDb pages, so I checked out both of yours, and then I saw on your wife's that she was in the All the Small Things music video for Blink-182.
That is true.
Really?
And I went, this is the smallest world imaginable because I love Blink-182.
She's one of those chicks in the crowd just going crazy while they're in like the
she
hangar
said,
or thing or whatever.
Yeah, in it she says she's like girl that can cry on command, and I'm just like, I know what spot she's talking about.
All those
Ashley
amazing
back in
credits.
the live stream now? I thought she went to bed.
Apparently, I just walked back in to parrot about how Justin and his wife have IMDb's.
I mean, they're actually in the industry, so I don't blame them. So
check us out, IMDb.
I'm gonna have to apparently.
I joke with Nick every time I'm on the episode. I'm like, "Oh, cool, another IMDb credit."
Oh,
all right. So yeah, John and Caleb just mute out for this segment, and we will roll in 5, 4, 3, 2. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you guys very, very much for listening to the Epic Film Guys podcast. Those of you on the live stream, I do apologize for my internet once again being a colossal piece of shit. But we are here with Dan from Netflix and Swill and Justin from So I Married a Movie Geek. And guys, it's time to review the latest film from Christopher Nolan, Dunkirk. And now, for anyone out there who might not know, Dunkirk was the spring of 1940. German forces had pushed the then Allied armies, like Britain and France, basically to the coast of France, and were kind of closing in, even though they totally could have gone in and destroyed them, but they didn't because Hitler's derpy. Nonetheless, there were some 400,000 plus troops stranded on the beaches of Dunkirk that needed to be rescued. So that's basically what this film is all about. Now, as we do Epic Film Guys style, we'll jump around the panel here and we'll start with the positives of the film first. And Dan, I actually want to start off with you. Just something that you enjoyed about Dunkirk.
I love that you start off with me because you already know my thoughts on this movie. It's shot pretty. You know, I said this over in our private chat, but it's like, all right, it's Christopher Nolan. Whenever a movie he makes isn't shot well, fucking wake me up, because that's the point where that's where it's noteworthy. Because, you know, Christopher Nolan shoots movies well. I mean, I don't know what to say there. Like it's a pretty to look at movie.
Fair enough. Fair enough. All right, over to Justin. Another thing, just something positive that you liked about Dunkirk.
I would have to give massive props to Hans Zimmer. Speaking of other Justin,
yeah.
I mean, Jesus Christ, this movie's basically a silent film in terms of the dialogue, but the music is up front throughout the whole thing, and in terms of it being a roller coaster of tension. Like I saw this I saw it this morning. The showing started at like 10:30 or whatever. I drank a quad shot of espresso before to wake me up, and it was probably a mistake because I was chewing my fingernails through the whole thing. I was like, I'm gonna have a heart attack during this thing. And Hans Zimmer and the music throughout, especially with the use of the actual ticking of clocks in several of the pieces, was pretty amazing for a score. So huge massive props to Hans Zimmer and his work in this movie. It was pretty top notch.
Yeah, it's always a testament to the talent of the filmmakers and to everyone involved when they can take a real life story like this. This is similar to what Affleck did with Argo, I think, where it's a real life story. You already know the outcome, but it can still pull you to the edge of your seat. It can still ratchet up the tension and kind of make you, like, as the moviegoer, kind of question what's going on. And I really, really love that. So that's a fantastic point, Justin. I'll throw in of course, it's Christopher Nolan, as Dan said, so just the use of practical effects in this film. Like, you see so many of these just beautiful, sweeping shots of the beach, of the ocean. It's so many amazing sweeping shots. And when it comes to Christopher Nolan, you know that he really put, tons of people in gear on a beach, tons of equipment, all sorts of shit. Just the use of practical effects in this film is just spectacular. Absolutely spectacular. I'm going to have a lot of good things to say about this film. I would not have a lot negative to say about it, but that's my next positive. Dan, did you like anything else about the film?
I liked all the plots that didn't center around soldiers and Air Force people. Like, for instance, the civilians who go out in their own boat for some reason, even though the Navy's come to take their fucking boats. I don't know. I like that whole subplot. Like, that whole plot was probably my favorite part of the movie. Was just their whole story arc. Other than that, I don't have too many more positives.
Jesus, Dan.
God damn, Dan. All right, Justin, over to you.
I would love to talk about I'd obviously seen the trailers, but I hadn't read any reviews. But I had, on Twitter before I saw the movie, saw a couple of complaints about the structure of the movie. And I was like, oh, can't read any more about it. And so I kind of wish I wouldn't have read that, because when I went to see it, I was looking for what are people talking about in terms of the structure. But I actually thought the negative by many people who don't like the structure of this movie was a positive for me, because it's a different way of telling a story rather than the same old linear, this is what happened during this battle, bounce around. This movie took 3 different stories from 3 different vantage points or viewpoints during the incident, and kind of interwove them in a way that I thought was very ingenious. And when they kind of everything lined up or crossed over towards the end in an official way, I was like, oh, that's pretty smart. And of course, it's Nolan who's obsessed with timing and time in most of his movies to do this. But I actually liked it, and that all goes into another major plus for me, which was the editing of this movie, because there's several different characters, several different like time periods going on at the same time, and going back and forth between them is not jarring in a way that kind of took me out of the story. It kind of kept me more tuned to what was happening and stuff. So I actually like the structure, and I love the editing they did with the movie to make it kind of sing and work in the end. So
yeah, I'll
anyone else
100% agree with that, because when it first happens in the film, because I hadn't read any reviews or anything about the movie at all. I just went into it cold. But the only thing I did know about the film was that it didn't center heavily on characters. It centered more on just the event itself. And that's going to be my next positive, which is the way that this was shot. It's not a character-driven film. But to go back to your point, Justin, talking about the chronology of the film, I love that you get to see some of these different events from the different vantage points of, the guys who were trapped on the beach, from the airmen that were flying in the RAF during the battle. It's just it's a really, really cool way to just kind of show these events from different perspectives. And Nolan does such great effects work anyway in the film. Like, it's just really a treat to watch these sequences over and over. And I love it. I absolutely loved it. But to get over to my next positive was, yeah, this was not a character-driven film whatsoever. You barely know any of the characters' names in this film. You barely learn really anything about them, because who they were isn't important, because the story that Nolan's trying to tell is the Battle of Dunkirk itself. That's the only thing that's important here. So the event takes center stage. None of the characters, I mean, some of the characters do get some moments to shine, and you enjoy them. Dan mentioned the civilians on the boat. They particularly were fantastic characters. Mark Rylance, man, fuck yeah, dude. Fucking knocked it out of the park. But I love that none of these characters were the focal point. The characters themselves weren't the focal point. It was what was happening to them, and it was just this place in the world at this time that was most important. I thought Nolan did a fantastic job of focusing in on that aspect of it. That was absolutely great to me.
And not only that, he never showed enemy faces or anything. So
exactly, and that I actually read was actually really true, because they except for the rear guard, the 30 or 40,000 troops that stayed behind and actually ended up getting captured, nobody else ever saw the Germans. They always just heard them, and they were very, very, just kind of like the bullets whizzing, and that was pretty much it. Which is, like I said, I think that's fantastic. I really, really appreciated all those steps that Nolan took. Really, really did. Dan, anything else, man? Or are you ready to chomp into this thing?
Flaw? No.
Oh man. Well,
Dan.
Justin, if you have anything else to add to the positives, go ahead before we toss this to Dan and let him tear into it.
My main thing would be to for everyone to go see it. I mean, go see it in the theater. It's amazing. We were talking about
theater possible.
Exactly. We were talking about Nolan, and I think his words. Like I said, I think his heart was in the right place, but it kind of came out wrong. But after I saw this movie, I'm like, man, this is the type of movie that people really need to see in theater, because see it on the biggest screen, see it with the best sound, because it really is an experience. I saw an interview with him where they asked about this being a war film, and he said, this is not a war film, this is more like a suspense movie. And after seeing it, I'm totally on board with that, because you imagine, people keep bringing up Saving Private Ryan, because when they think of war movies, that's one of the top ones that they think of. But imagine Saving Private Ryan if it didn't have the awful the top and bottom with the old man and stuff, seeing the graves. It just dropped you right in. And the beach scene at the top of Saving Private Ryan, imagine if there's like 4 or 5 more of those scenes throughout the film, and like it just never lets up, basically, through its runtime. That's what Dunkirk is, and I thought it was great, man. Like it's why you go to the theater, because you want to be transported to another place. And the fact that he took this story that a lot of people know how it happened, but kind of put you right in the middle of it, was pretty amazing. And I thought it was great. So
that's an actually
fuck you, Dan.
Really great point, where he basically, you feel like you're kind of dropped into the middle of this thing. Like you feel like kind of like you're there. I mean, I know that's kind of cliche to say, but you really feel like you were just dropped right into the middle of this whole thing, and that you're like kind of experiencing the chaos of it. Because again, that's one of the great things about not learning the characters' names, because you're dropped into it as a stranger. You don't know who anybody is. You don't know what's going on. And I thought that was great about it. My last positive, and then Dan can kick off the negatives next here, is the sound editing. This is a shoe-in for definitely a nomination, and I really think it might win for sound editing and sound mixing at the Oscars this year. The sound effects in this film are incredible. Absolutely incredible. And like the way, like, think about when they're in the derelict boat and all of a sudden those bullets ping in and ricochet off the walls, the way that those planes, that like the sound of them coming screaming in, and even in my shit theater, it sounded spectacular. I'm actually going to make a trip just to see this thing in IMAX, because I want to hear it on an IMAX sound system, because I guarantee you it's going to blow my fucking mind. Yet the sound editing and the sound mixing, just the sound design of this film altogether, fucking spectacular. Cannot say enough about it. All right.
Yeah, Dan. And no dialogue as well. So
exactly.
Tom Hardy is in this movie. He's a major character in this movie, and he has 12 lines of dialogue. He doesn't really talk that much at all.
3 of them, so.
Him and his face coverings.
You might ask yourself, why are you a Superman before throwing out of a plane?
All right, well, yeah, Dan, I know Dan had a bunch of problems with this movie, way more so than I did. I can't even really think of anything I'd add to the negatives here, but Dan, go right ahead, man.
I want to hear this. I want to defend these. Go ahead, Dan.
Oh, I have no actual problems with this movie.
Come on. Really?
No, I'm not kidding. I walked out of this movie just, like, the only problem I have with this movie is I just walked out just being like, I don't care.
So why didn't you care? Do you not like war films in particular?
No, I like war movies. I don't know. I don't know why I didn't care about this movie. I just walked out just being like, whatever. You know, it's a Christopher Nolan movie. You know, and I'll get this. I'll get deeper into this when we, dive into the actual movie. But like, I don't hate this movie. Well, I think this is a good movie.
Nothing for nothing, but if Justin doesn't have any negatives to add to this, because honest to God, I don't have any. I really don't have anything. This actually will supplant Baby Driver as my #1 film of the year now. I fucking loved this movie. This thing was incredible. So we can branch into a broader discussion of this thing unless you have anything to add to the negatives, Justin.
I was trying to rack my brain for something. I really can't think of something. The only thing I wanted more from was out of the 3 storylines, the Tom Hardy one was the least compelling to me, but it got more compelling as it went on. But maybe that was just me. Maybe just the other 2 were just way more. I don't know.
I think that might almost be an effect of the chronology in the film, because the way that they break it up is the air portion takes place over an hour, and the sea portion takes place over a day, and the beach portion takes place over a week. So basically, when you're cutting back to what's going on with Tom Hardy, sometimes during that hour, he's not really doing a whole lot.
Yeah, it's not really dynamic.
Yeah,
it's not really dynamic. But then he also has his buddy, that goes down earlier than him, and then you wonder what happened to him, and then he comes up later, and you're like, okay, so that answers a question. So he was obviously very important in the movie and what happened in the movie. Just because he was Tom Hardy, I guess I wanted more lines underneath some kind of face covering for him, but it's a minor quibble, so
Dan wants to get in here. Dan, get in here.
Now that I think about it, there's one negative. The 1 week portion, there's no way that was 1 week. There's just no way. I'm sorry. There's just no way. That was 2 days. That was 2 days.
So wait, so the air guy, so the air was an hour.
Yes.
The guy at sea was a day. The guys at sea were a day, and
yes.
the week were the guys on the beach, right?
Yes. There's no way that was a week. That's my only.
That is how
really
long
like quibble with the
lasted,
movie.
Though really, it was like the 27th of May to like the 4th of June, I believe.
I'm sure it is, but there was no actual scale of how long that took, because it felt like, okay, we're gonna do the evacuation. All right, it failed. We're all gonna go climb into this boat now, and then we're gonna drift out to the sea, and then we're gonna get rescued by the dudes on the boat. Like, that felt like it could have happened in a day itself.
Yeah, that might be just a symptom of the way that the film was broken up, non-linear style, because it really does. I mean, like, again, with Tom Hardy, all the scenes of Tom Hardy take place within 1 hour, and then you've got to really take all those beach scenes. Like, those beach scenes, at first it was really jarring to me, because all of a sudden it's daytime on the boat when they're coming out, and then all of a sudden it's nighttime on the beach, and then you go back to the plane when it's daytime, and then you cut back to the beach and it's daytime again. It's like, wait a minute, what the fuck's going on? And then I kind of, like I said, I didn't read about the storyline being really non-linear before. I think that just must be a symptom of that, Dan. And I mean, maybe Nolan could have just picked and chosen a few more scenes, or maybe developed the beach stuff, maybe done a few more beach scenes to make it progress a little bit better. But I don't know. Actually,
that was... And not to get into top 5 Nolan films, but I watched Interstellar today, and I want to say thank God for, this is actually a positive, thank God that Christopher Nolan decided that this was going to be a 2-hour movie, or however long it was. It was like around 2 hours. Thank God, because like,
I mean, I would have literally died. I was so on my seat, like I was stressed by the end. So I was about to say, at what point did you guys realize, okay, these are going to intersect, these are different time periods?
Well, it's like I said, it was for me.
Almost
I think
immediately.
It was the first time.
Almost immediately, Dan.
Whenever they first showed the beach, whenever they first showed the guys on the beach at night, and then they cut away from them and they cut back to them and it's daytime again, and then all of a sudden I realized, I'm like, oh shit, he's doing this whole crazy like non-linear thing where he's just throwing everything in here. And then once I picked it up, I was along for the fucking ride.
What I mean by almost immediately is like whenever like the first arc is called Mole, and then the second one I can't remember if it's called like Sea or Air. It's one of the two. I don't remember.
The second one's Sea.
It's Sea. So as soon as Sea came up and it was like one day, I'm like, oh, they're doing intersecting timelines. Okay. That that's not for me to try to sound smart. It was just like I knew what he was doing almost immediately. Sorry if it's me trying to show off or shit.
No,
I knew it immediately.
No, oh man, I'm trying to think of what to say about this film without just pulling out my dick and just beating on it for a while, because I walked into the theater here and it's Christopher Nolan. The last time I saw a Christopher Nolan film, as Dan said, is Interstellar, and that film I walked out of like, I loved it visually. Like, I thought he did a really good job of visualizing that movie, but that movie drags so badly especially through like its second act. It's just dreadful to try to get through it. And it's so, I feel like it's just too overblown. I feel like it's just, there's way too much going on in it. And this is a much, much neater, much, much tighter, much more compact kind of story where, I mean, like I said, I loved that it didn't try to focus on a character. Like, think of when Justin, you mentioned Saving Private Ryan. The thrust of that is, boom, you drop in, you're attached to Captain Miller from the get-go, and he's your vessel to carry you through this story. This story doesn't have that. There is no audience surrogate in this film, really. I mean, it just kind of throws you in, and you're just kind of, you're along for the ride, for really lack of a better term. And for me, like I said, I absolutely loved that's the way that it went. I was worried about it because I heard that going into it, and I'm a guy that loves my characters. I'm a guy that loves my character development. So I was worried that I was just going to kind of feel really detached from this. But like when he's at the end of the film, and he's reading the speech that Churchill gave in the House of Commons after the evacuation was over, like I'm fucking tearing up. I'm like, oh my, like it fucking really fucking hit me, and fuck, this movie's fucking great, man.
But in that same vein, there is the kid the first kid you see at the top of the movie, and
George. Yep.
No, was it George?
Yeah.
Was it George?
Yeah, George was the young kid.
Okay.
Yep.
So he's the first person you see in the movie, and even though I wouldn't call him like the main character of the whole movie, I kind of followed him through the whole thing because I wanted him to survive, because he almost didn't survive the first 2 minutes of the movie. So between him and Mark Rylance, who I thought was amazing,
he was great in this.
Even the One Direction kid was pretty good. Harry Styles, he wasn't that bad.
I don't even know who he was in the movie because I don't know who he is.
He was the
he was the kid.
Almost
he was
racist guy.
Yeah, when they're caught in the boat and he's calling out the French guy.
Oh right. Okay,
yeah.
So that was okay. Yeah, I don't know
who
the
that
One
kid.
Direction guys are, so I was like, okay.
Don't lie, they're your favorite band. So
I was actually going to play some during the break for you.
He was afraid. He was afraid Justin would start singing it, though.
I also appreciated the fact that this is a PG-13 movie. It's super harrowing and suspenseful, but it's not graphic for a war movie
no,
at all.
And there's a lot of really great effect shots of like artillery hitting the beach and boats exploding as they get hit with bombs or hit with torpedo. Like, dude, like that's one of the scenes that I fucking loved the most, when the ship gets hit with the torpedo and you see it from the perspective of like the guys on the boat. Like that shit was like,
oh my god, that was horrifying to watch. It's just like you can see it coming, and you're just like, I can't do anything about this.
Oh man. And then like it was really great because then the one soldier forces his way up to the boat deck and rips the door open just so the sailors that are trapped inside can get out. Like that shit was fucking like, it's like Justin said, like you're ripping your fingernails off because it's so tense and everything. everything that Nolan is able to do in this film is it's literally picture perfect. And I can't think of anything about this film that like overall like detracts from the experience for me. And like I go into some films and sometimes I'll come out and I'll be like, I wish he would have done this, or I wish he would have done this. I don't wish he would have done anything different. I fucking loved every single second of this thing. Absolutely loved it. It fucking blew me out of the water. It was so good. That was probably a really bad thing to say after I was just talking about the ship with the torpedo, but go Nick.
And this movies on water are not supposed to work. They're supposed to be disasters. You know, you think movies on water, you think
that's true.
Waterworld, and you know, everyone says Titanic was a
episode. Don't give me that shit.
Everyone has. Come on.
I like Waterworld, guys.
You and your wife have issues. That's all I have to say.
Whatever, Dan. Don't talk about people having issues.
I know, right?
But yeah, I think he should be graded on a curve. You know, most of this movie is made on water. He used 40 actual boats in this movie. Like, he actually used the boats.
Yeah,
so
were actually
I don't know.
that participated in the actual evacuation. Yeah.
And still, at the end of the day, this movie only costs, I say only because, you know, it's relative, but like 140 million or something, where, you know, these CGI fests are like 200-300 million easy. Still, he's one of the best directors in Hollywood now. So he got 20 million, 20% of the gross for this movie. Nolan did. So he knows what he's doing, man. He's a master at his craft. So,
all right, can I just pop off here for a little bit? I know you guys have been like coming all over, like you guys have been like, just like bukkake all over this fucking.
You haven't come up with a negative. Shut the fuck up, Dan.
No,
come up with a negative.
But I was super.
You guys
lethargic.
are just coming all over this movie.
No, but like I was super lethargic just walking out of this movie, though. Like,
but tell us why. You haven't said why. So why were you lethargic? Why didn't you care? Tell us why.
I don't know. I legitimately don't know. I couldn't tell you why. I just didn't care. But I just walked out and just being like, I guess I watched that movie. Yeah, sure. And that's typically reserved for shit like fucking The Colony that I watched last week on our episode, which is like, yeah, this was certainly a movie. And that's how I walked out of this. I'm just like, but this is a Christopher Nolan movie. Like, I shouldn't be walking out of this movie just being like, yeah, whatever. This is pretty to look at. And it sounded good, but what was there? Like, I just felt, I guess I felt like there was just no real substance other than like the actual boat rescue people, like the civilians. Other than those people, like there was. Yes.
I don't understand you sometimes, Dan.
I don't either. It doesn't make sense. I really don't. It really just doesn't make sense why I don't like this movie.
And we were talking about like who gets the most lines in this movie. It's kind of a toss up. I
think it's the dad on the boat.
Yeah, Mark Rylance.
Yeah, Rylance.
Yeah.
But even with like people who get relatively no lines, like what's the kid that's like, I just want to be in the newspaper. I want to like my hometown to see.
George, yeah.
No, that's not the main character. I'm talking about the kid on the boat that just tagged along and he ended up hitting his hits. So both of them are named George. The original kid.
There was the guy's son who had like the blonde swept hair or whatever, and then George was the kid in the vest.
Okay, but but who's the kid who at the beginning of the movie is like trying to catch the paper coming out of the sky? He's the main character.
That's
that kid. I have no idea what his actual name is.
So that's who I was talking about earlier. But now I'm talking about the kid in the vest, and you didn't really get anything from his character other than he just tagged along on this boat that day, and he got unfairly pushed down the stairs by Cillian Murphy. But then at the end, when he gets his dream to be in the newspaper because he was a hero, in quotes, you're like, good for that kid, you know, even though you really didn't learn much about him,
right?
Other than, so.
But like he wanted to help, though. And that's like the best part about his character is he wanted to help. He wanted to be there for people, even though he wasn't supposed to be there. It's like that whole story arc with that civilian boat is that they're not supposed to be there, but they want to do what's right for those men and their country.
And I mean, it's just, and it goes back to, you know, just not really this film just not really focusing on any one specific character, like really focusing on them, giving them a character arc, giving them all these, really cool, great dramatic moments that you would normally get in a war film like this. It's more like, the characters are more incidental to this thing than anything else. Even though, I mean, like I said, a lot of the characters are great. George is a great character. Mark Rylance's character is a great character. Even Cillian Murphy, I thought he did a fucking fantastic job showcasing post-traumatic stress. I thought he was fucking great in that role.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely great.
Kenneth Branagh.
Kenneth Branagh is fucking amazing, but he's amazing in everything. I fucking love Kenneth Branagh. He's so fucking good. Oh, man. There's so many great actors in this film that give really, really great performances, but when I walked out of it, like, I was just like, like, you don't even learn, like, 9/10 of these characters' names. You just don't know who they are, and you're not supposed to. It's just meant to be, this is the event. Like, just imagine you're Joe Schmo troop, and I mean, there's 400,000 troops. You don't know every troop in every single company in the entire fucking British military, So it's just, it's great. I absolutely loved that. It just, for whatever reason, to me, it just made it feel more real to me. It made it feel more almost immersive, if that makes any sense. I don't know if it does.
Definitely.
Or not, but it made it really immersed me in it more often than not. One more point of note that I want to make here is just the cinematography here, and actually not Wally Pfister for, I don't know, he's pretty much been Nolan's cinematographer for everything until this film, and this was Hoyt van Hoytema. Not really sure what other cinematography work he's done.
That sounds like the most Swedish name ever.
That's just Chris Nolan's, like,
Yeah. This dude is definitely going to get a nomination for cinematography at the Oscars. This fucking film looked spectacular. Like, those sweeping shots of the fucking beach, like, all the, like, and you know what? I've lamented often the camera on the wing thing in Interstellar, and Dan has now seen that movie, so he can probably relate to that a little bit. But this film also
piece of shit
cameras.
angle. Jesus
I fucking
Christ.
hated that. But this film actually did it with the World War II era planes, but it did it minimally. It didn't do it in too many shots, and I thought the shots that it did use it in were to great effect, because usually it was to see, there's a Luftwaffe plane chasing them or whatever else. So I actually really liked it in this. And like I said, just the sweeping shots of the channel, like, you could tell that a lot of those shots, if not all of those shots, I'm pretty sure probably all of them were, because it's Nolan, but you could tell those shots, they were on a fucking plane or they were on a helicopter flying over the fucking channel, shooting those planes actually flying, because we know Nolan actually had some planes rebuilt for the era to fly them around. They just look fucking spectacular. This was actually shot in Dunkirk, by the way, if anybody did not know that. This was shot on the same beach the evacuation took place on.
Yes.
Another thing, Nolan in the past has been compared to Kubrick a lot, and after seeing this, I think that this is probably his most Kubrickian film. I mean, this would make a great double feature with Full Metal Jacket.
My God! You just explained why I hate this movie, or not hate this movie. Why this movie is just only good. You just nailed it,
Dan.
Kubrick
you just don't like.
No, I don't like Kubrick because he needs a fucking editor.
An editor, like an actual like a
content editor. If you could actually like cut, like, I could actually break down Kubrick's movies into like I could break down The Shining into 45 minutes and it would still have the same impact.
Oh, Dan. All
right, well, here on the Epic Film Guys, I don't rate films anymore, just because I don't care. I'm pretty sure my words stand on their own. So that's it. That's all I've got to say about the film. If you guys want to throw a rating on it, please feel free. Or if you've got any final thoughts you want to throw at the movie, please feel free. But yeah, that's Dunkirk. Like I said, that's now my #1 movie of the year. This was fucking spectacular. I was blown the fuck away by this movie.
Before Dan throws more hate, I will agree with Nick. It's also my favorite movie of the year. It's been a great year for movies, 2017. It's been an amazing fucking summer, and for this movie to be still heads above all those other movies, I'd probably give it a 9 out of 10 myself. But I would reiterate, go see it in an actual movie theater on the biggest screen possible with the loudest sound, and just enjoy it. It's a roller coaster ride of tension and mastercraft at his work. Don't listen to Dan. He's just a hater. He can't explain himself either, so he has no heart.
This is like Nick and fucking Wonder Woman all over again. It's just like, I like the movie. You know, I don't hate this movie. This movie isn't bad by any stretch of the imagination. Is it a bad Nolan film? Sure. But like when I say a bad Nolan film, I mean like it's still better than most of the shit that's being thrown out there in general in the first place. Again? It's definitely better than Interstellar. It's actually on my spoiler alert. It's on my top 5 Nolan movies. But fuck it,
we've got coming up next.
Yeah, so fuck it. Like, I don't know. Just it's beautiful to look at. It's just beautiful to look at, and it's beautiful to listen to. No matter what my rating is, go watch this in a big theater, IMAX preferably. You know, I actually did get to see it in an IMAX theater, and it, like I said, looked great, sounded great, all that good stuff. This is a 7. You know, I can't explain to you why I don't like this movie other than it felt like a Kubrick movie, and it's in fact it actually feels brisker than a Kubrick movie, which is saying a lot because Kubrick loves to fucking watch his jizz just form on screen all the time.
All right, well, there you have it, folks. That is Dunkirk, and we're going to go ahead and roll into another quick break here. This is actually going to be Loy sauce. Wait a minute. This is actually going to be Loy sauce. He's going to check in over on our hotline and let us know his thoughts of the film. So we will take a quick break, and we will be right back.
Check, sound, check.
Boom, shake it up.
All right, I'm grabbing water, and I'm going to kill myself.
Dan, don't kill yourself. We'd miss you.
Damn it.
Wait. Nick, put my camera back on the live stream.
Is it not on there? It is on there.
Okay, make sure it's on there. As I do the Warriors thing, as I can't actually do the Warriors thing because my fucking fingers are too fat.
What the fuck are you doing?
I'm trying to do the Warriors thing. Did you not listen? Did you not listen when I talk? I mean, I don't blame you for not listening to me when I talk. But fuck you.
Ooh. All right, yes, we'll be back in a few minutes, folks.
Oh, excuse me here. Check 1. I think I just got fired from my job here. I'm doing this voice here for Kermit the Frog, and we're going to do a little podcast thing here. I'd like to Miss Piggy's pussy, and I got fired.
Nope. I got distracted.
Bloopers episode 2 coming months from now.
Where did Justin go?
I'm still here. I'm listening to you talk.
Ah, Jesus Christ.
I'm still alive.
But yeah, it's just Justin was quiet, and then Brian was like, done.
I was told to shut up with my Star Wars.
Thank you. That will be all.
It will not be all. It will not be. It will be everything.
It is his birthday. You're supposed to, like, be nice to him on his birthday.
Yeah, it's my birthday. You have to be nice to me.
Yeah.
I don't know. What? How do you want me to ruin another score or another song?
All right. Tasty sip of beer.
What are you sipping it like a baby out of a baby cup or something?
It's got a little sipper top screwed on. Mm-hmm. My little
What is
Dora the
happening?
Explorer beer mug is what it is. The straw comes out of Boots the monkey's ass, so I'm drinking beer out of a monkey's ass. Don't judge me.
I don't even own a webcam.
Neither do I.
should really
Yeah,
get
neither
one.
do we.
Although I saw Snowden, and then the government can just watch you beating off.
Who is that woman?
So
Are you suggesting you beat off in front of your computer?
absolutely, that's where we are right now.
That's Paul.
I'm surprised. I'm
Okay.
surprised you're not doing it right
Let's
now.
not pretend like Wayne doesn't just look for any camera he can find before
Oh,
he starts
that's
beating
Danielle.
off anyway.
That's right. I'm like, well, there's none in here. I'm gonna walk to the next room.
The one that's talking right now, that's Wayne right there. That's Wayne. He's half Asian.
Okay.
That's right.
He's brown. Just say he's brown.
That's right.
He's got a cat there in
Brown,
that
half
picture
yellow.
on his
Yellow.
lap, a cat.
You got a cat in the picture?
That's Wayne.
Really? Is there a cat in my picture?
That's amazing. You got some pussy.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's on your lap.
Oh, that's the Instagram photo. Oh, that's a horrible photo. Yeah, I took that in New York.
EFG, baby, Epic Film Guys. So we have a lot of stuff going on. We're really excited about the future here. Things are changing with Epic Film Guys, and be on the lookout for
Speaking
the
of
future
changes,
as well. We're gonna.
speaking of changes,
I did not get a sex change, Nick. That didn't happen yet. That's happening maybe the end of next summer. We don't know yet.
okay, well, keep me apprised of that situation. The list will definitely keep me
The
informed.
lisp has not. Hey, I've got a control on it. I'm taking special medication.
I bet I could coax him out if I talk about dicks enough.
I don't know. Maybe if you talk about Patrick Swayze and Ghost, okay?
Whoa, my love, my darling. I'm gonna cut in the audio there because I can't really do it
Yeah,
justice.
you
I'm sorry.
better,
That's
but
not gonna. That's not gonna bring the lisp out. That's just gonna make your dick fucking wilt and fall off.
Yeah, honestly made it shrink into like a smaller section of my body. I don't even know where it went.
All right, I'm recording. All right, Dyson.
I was really hoping you would get that. I really, really did.
I don't know how long I can hold this. I always loved it. He sells that so well,
He
too.
does.
It's so great. And we'll see you on our regular scheduled program, but guess what? We want you to be scared. Ah, fuck it. Damn it. Son of a bitch.
Balls.
What are you thinking?
It's all right. Don't worry about it. We'll work it out down the line. I'll start over again. Sorry, Nick. I know you hate me for this, you jerk. I love you, though. I'll fondle your balls. Well, thank you guys so much for listening to this new edition. Or fuck me. I gotta do what Nick does. Na. La. And thank you, everyone, each and every one of you out there that is taking the time to listen to our brand new segment, Epic Film Guys B-Sides. We just want to throw this out there. Fuck, damn it. Nick, you're gonna cut all this. All right. Well, I just assumed you were drinking that chocolate stout that you were going to make with the cheapest crap chocolate ice cream and a Miller Lite.
I swear to God, Dan.
You swear to me. Outtakes. Kevin, you see how this goes, though. Are you sleeping?
I get it.
Are you sleepy yet?
Yeah. No,
Oh, God, I hope
I'm
my
just
parents don't wake up from
I'm
that.
just listening.
I miss driving around Clarion with Dan hanging out the window of my car as we drive by people, and he just screams in as loud of a voice as he possibly can.
Justin, just think about the Joker hanging out the police car, and that was me.
That was Dan,
basically.
but screaming Batman lines at people. I'm not wearing hockey pads. Yeah, hockey season was really fun. That's the thing. I need to stop nursing it. I need to just get it in me and get it over with, and then get to one of those 2016 ales.
That's pretty much the way my girlfriend talks about with sex.
We will be live in 5, 4, 3, 2. Oh, I thought you were going to lead that segment,
All right.
Justin.
Blooper!
Quiet, Paul and Wayne. All right. Do we still have everybody here?
Is this a recording or not a recording?
This is not a
Yeah.
recording.
Garrett,
I'm
my
here.
lips is
I'm
closed.
here,
Winters
motherfucker.
Is July.
Hello.
Justin Winters
Hi,
is
it's
July
me, your boy.
2nd, 2017.
It's almost
I'm here,
bedtime.
motherfucker.
All right.
We're the only
let's go
ones
ahead.
here.
And I've got part 3 saved. Yes, I do. Okay. Everybody get recording for me.
Yes.
All right.
I don't think I exported, so wait for me last.
Yeah, take your time.
Yeah, damn it.
No. This is less than 15 seconds. Do sound checks and do me last.
All right. So everybody else, start. Caleb, we'll start with you.
Check. Sound check.
All right, and John.
Check your testicles because it's good for you. It prevents cancerous cells.
Justin.
Check. Sound check.
All right, and Dan.
Nick, I hate you most of all.
That's fair. It's very fair.
I hate Dunkirk, but I don't know why.
I don't hate it. It's a 7 out of 10. What the fuck's wrong with you?
I can't explain myself.
This is Nick and Wonder Woman all over again.
This is literally Nick and Wonder Woman all over again.
I gave it a
fucking
7
hate
out
this
of 10,
shit.
but you acted like I said it was hot garbage.
This movie's hot garbage. 7 out of 10.
Oh my god. I gotta turn my air off, but then we will get rolling on our Nolan top 5. Hang on, guys.
Fuck you guys. I'm gonna quit scoring movies.
That's true. That's exactly what he did. He got really upset at that and then started to stop doing
Come
it.
back, Nick. You could score. You could score movies again, Nick. Come on, man. It's okay. It's okay. We still love you.
I stopped scoring movies because I'm tired of explaining my rating system to people.
No.
Well, pretty much the way I understood it is
you just
as
can't
long
back
as it's
up your
above a 4,
opinions.
it's not hot garbage.
I back up all my opinions. Every damn one of them. All right, let's roll in 5, 4, 3, 2. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It's time for our Nolan top 5. Welcome back, Caleb and John. Hopefully you guys didn't... Well, maybe you did catch a nap. Hopefully Caleb didn't throw up during the last segment from his beautiful, delicious chocolate
Precious
stout.
Daisy.
Caleb's like, I feel great. All right. So
Best
let's...
I feel good. I knew that I would.
Yee.
Yee.
I love you guys. All right, let's go ahead and jump into our Nolan top 5. So top 5 Christopher Nolan flicks. And now, Caleb, you are the person amongst the group who has seen the least amount of Christopher Nolan movies, if I remember correctly.
And the one who has enjoyed the least number of Christopher Nolan movies.
So, do you have 5 Nolan films to throw in here, or are you going to sit out for a round or 2?
That's a negative, Kemosabe. I have like a 1.5 favorite Nolan film.
All right, we'll talk to Caleb later. Much later.
Man.
I was
I'm just here to
able to
heckle
put
you.
5 movies together. I was able. So that I lucked out on that.
Well, geez. All right, well, why don't we go ahead and start with you, John? Go ahead and throw it in. Your number 5
All right.
Christopher Nolan film.
Well, my number 5 out of all of these is going to be Man of Steel.
That's not a Christopher Nolan movie.
He wrote it.
Isn't it?
He produced it,
He
sure,
produced
but
it.
like
He produced
Zack
it.
Snyder movie.
Oh, wait.
I thought he wrote the script.
Oh, it's
No,
a
he didn't.
Snyder. That's right.
No.
For some reason, I thought it was his.
Damn it, John! You've already fucked it up.
Damn it. I've already
We're
fucked
up
it
to a
up.
running start.
And I do not have a fucking... All right, well, then I guess...
Jesus Christ. We'll come back to John.
For some reason, I thought he was... Yeah, we'll come back to me.
Yeah,
wow.
Christopher Nolan helped create the original story, but
Yeah, that's pretty much... And he produced it. He definitely produced it, but... Yeah, no, Jesus, God. We're going over to Justin. Justin, let us have it, man. Number 5.
I'm still laughing.
It's a sign,
Oh,
it's a
man.
sign of things to come.
he was so
This
proud
what-
of himself too.
Oh, I
This
was.
is what
I
makes-
really,
Man of Steel. I'm like, no.
This is what makes John
I
one of my
didn't even think
favorite
about it.
This is why he's one of my favorite fantasy movie drafters, because he just doesn't give a fuck at all sometimes. So
I mean, otherwise it'd be like number 3 on the list.
I know Caleb loves my number 5 movie. I've heard him talk about.
Okay,
Oh,
don't
God.
even say it.
It's Memento, guys. Memento's-
Fuck you. This
The
movie's
dude's
a
only-
fucking piece of shit.
Dude's only made 10 movies, so there's not a lot from to choose from. Bunch of white dudes talking about a different order of movies.
Yeah. Look how
so-
smart this movie is. It's backwards. Do you get it?
Hey, Caleb, remember when Shimmer Lake was a better Memento?
You remember when Dan hated Dunkirk, but he didn't know why? No. So I think so the movie I think the movie's inventive, unlike Caleb. It's fun. It's one of those that's really fun to watch for the first time, and then after that, the diminishing returns. But the first time was pretty amazing, and it's one of those movies I remember the first time I watched that movie. I liked it a lot, at least to be on the top 5 of his 10 movies of all time. So. There you go, Memento,
if
number
you're
5.
picking from the list John is, you can just have any old fucking movie in here.
It's
obviously.
solidly
Literally,
a
like
middle
on the
driver.
fucking movie list, this motherfucker is like, it's like for some reason it has it listed on it. It was like all 10 movies and fucking Man of Steel, and I'm like, okay.
John has his own.
Well, at
special
least I can
IMDb.
pick 5 movies.
Memento is very
I wasn't
solidly
looking at IMDb. Yeah,
Memento's
Batman Mask
very
of the
solidly
Phantasm.
at the middle of like a very shallow barrel. So
All right, well, I guess I only have 4
Caleb's
of these
popping
actual
off
movies.
right now. Jesus
How many?
Christ.
So wait, how many movies has Caleb seen of the 10?
Probably like 3 or 4.
Well, I didn't see Dunkirk. I've never seen Interstellar because I've been avoiding it on purpose.
Keep avoiding it.
I've never seen Inception because I've heard about it so much that I refuse to ever watch it.
That's not true. We're watching on DVDs as well. Fuck you.
God damn it. I'm so mad. I haven't seen The Prestige, but I know the entire story because I've had it explained to me like 30 times.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I've seen all the Batman movies. They're fine. And I saw Memento.
And he
So 4.
absolutely
We got it.
loved it.
I nailed it.
Number 5, Memento.
All right. Well,
There
I
you
will
go.
skip over. Speaking of the Prestige, Caleb, that's a great segue into my number 5, which is 2006's The Prestige. I think this is a great movie. I think that the best thing I love about this movie is Hugh Jackman, I think, gives a fantastic performance. I kind of like the whole plot of I clone myself 1,000 times is really fucking irritating to me. Even though they explain it well enough in the film for like the universe of the film for it to work, I still think it's stupid.
Well, it's the same kind of thing that like Memento pulls, where it's like, hey, it's the same reason why I don't like The Matrix. Spoilers, I don't like The Matrix. But it's like philosophy for people who know nothing about philosophy. And it's like, oh, which one's the original? Which one's really him? Dun dun dun. You know? It's whatever.
I do think it has some,
But
like I said, some
That's
great
like the
performances.
last act of the movie, though.
It does have some great performances. Like I think Hugh Jackman's great in it. I think Christian Bale's
Yeah,
great in
sure.
it as well. So I mean, just on the strength of those performances, I had to set this one in there as my number 5. Yeah, that's it. And John, have you figured this out yet?
I have actually figured this out. I have. And technically, I have seen 5 of these goddamn movies that are actually his. And if I was to do a number 5, it would have to be Dark Knight Rises. So I'd rather just skip and just do 4.
You merely adopted alcoholism. I was born into it, molded by it. I didn't know sobriety until I was already a man.
That's the new Netflix and Swell promo there, everybody. Enjoy it.
All right. Any reason why it's your number 5 except for the fact that it's just the 5th movie that you've seen from Christopher?
It's just basically the 5th fucking movie I've seen from Christopher Nolan.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's the only reason The Dark Knight Rises would ever land on this list.
It was a piece of shit.
Dan might have it in here.
That's a terrible fucking movie.
You never know. Dan might have it in here. Dan, let's hear it, man. Number 5.
No, my number 5 is Dunkirk. The movie that I apparently hate so fucking much that it's on my top 5 Christopher Nolan movies.
Man, why do you hate this?
You've only seen 5.
I've seen 8. The only 2 I haven't seen is like what is it? Knowing and some other short film he made like before Batman Begins.
I haven't seen the only Nolan film I have not seen is Following. Yeah, and
that's it. Following and there's something else. Yeah,
probably Insomnia.
So
I'm guessing Insomnia, Dan.
Yeah, possibly. So like, fuck, I don't know. It's a beautifully shot movie. Great sound design. At least one compelling story out of 3 of them. I'll take it. You know, Dunkirk is Dunkirk. You literally just heard me explain.
This should have been a Christopher Nolan top 10.
All 10 of his movies.
Yeah, all of them.
All right.
Which.
So what are you gonna get for your top 10? Every one of them.
In some order, they will all be there.
All right, and Caleb, you just let me know when you've got a pick for one of these rounds. All right.
No, I just want to throw this out there. Like, I know what everybody's number 1 pick's gonna be, and it's not the one that I like.
Great, Caleb. Great.
I'm so fucking contrary to everything.
Memento. Oh wait, shit! Spoiler alert.
Kill you.
He'll literally, like, you'll see him get up from his desk, and then like 4.5 hours from now, I'll hear this fucking glass smashing at my house. Oh my god! All right, well, we will kick it back over to Justin for your number 4.
My number 4 has already been talked about. It's The Prestige, which is a movie. Give a PodFix Network shout out to the More Gooder Than podcast. We just talked about The Prestige and The Illusionist, which were movies that were released within 3 months of each other.
That's
about
right. You got to go visit
magicians.
The bunker, didn't you? You got to go visit the MGT bunker.
I did in the hot summer sun of Bakersfield, California. Yeah, Prestige. I think it's great. I hadn't watched it since it came out. You already talked about Christian Bale, Hugh Jackman. It's got a ton of it's got David fucking Bowie in it, for God's sake, playing
Tesla.
Yeah, playing Tesla. So that's worth being in the top 5 just itself. But Andy Serkis is in it.
Michael Caine.
Scarlett Johansson, Michael Caine. A lot of great actors in that movie, and
I only watched it for Scarlett Johansson. I'm not gonna lie.
Warring Magicians, man. I like it a lot. I think it's a great movie. So, fuck you, Caleb. Do you like Prestige?
He literally said he'd never seen it.
Yeah, I haven't actually watched the entire film, but no, it's a cool concept. And
I would say yes to Prestige, no to Interstellar. So watch Prestige over.
Yeah,
Interstellar is a piece of shit. As somebody who just watched Interstellar today, piece of shit. Just there's 45 minutes of compelling film, and then in between, around that is just fucking trash.
The second act of Interstellar is dreadful to try to get through. Mind-numbing to get. It's. I've seen 9 Nolan films. It would be at the bottom of my list of Nolan films.
Yes, this would be Interstellar's below Dark Knight Rises for me.
That's good.
Oh my god! All right, well, I will jump in here with my number 4, and it will be the first Batman entry on my list, and it is Batman Begins, the reboot.
What the fuck is Memento on your list? It better be number 3. If it better not climb higher than 3.
Jeez.
You already said number 1.
Jeez, calm down, Dan. But yeah, this was, of course, Christopher Nolan rebooting the Batman franchise after the best movie of all time, Batman and Robin, came out in 1997. Christian Bale as Batman, fantastic. Michael Caine as Alfred, fantastic. His action fight choreography really needed some help in this film, and it still needed help by the end of The Dark Knight Rises, so it's good to see he only sort of improved over those 3 Batman films. But other than that, everything about this movie is great. This is actually the first Batman film that really focuses just on Batman, and it's fucking great. Liam Neeson as Ra's al Ghul, fucking great, man, fucking great. I love this movie. That's my number 4. We'll pitch it over to.
It's pronounced Ra's al Ghul.
Fuck you. We'll pitch it over to John for your number 4.
My number 4 is actually going to be Insomnia.
Now Man of Steel, right?
Yeah, now Man of Steel. Going with Man of Steel this time. Starring Robin Williams and Al Pacino. But Insomnia, dude, it was a great movie. I actually really enjoyed it. I've only seen it like twice, and it's been a long time since I've seen it, but I really, really enjoyed it. Like, it's one of those things where I guess I first kind of encountered Christopher Nolan, and the movie shot beautifully, and Robin Williams does fantastic in his role.
He's fucking great in it. Pacino's great in it too, and it also has Hilary Swank in it, and she's pretty good in it. I don't think she's nearly as compelling, especially Robin.
She
Williams.
is not
Robin
nearly
Williams
as captivating as those two.
Yeah, Robin Williams is just fucking spectacular in the film. I mean, I wouldn't say it's like, I mean, it doesn't make my list. Spoiler alert, but I really, really enjoyed it as well. I think it's a really, really solid flick. And this was still, of course, really early Nolan. This was 2002? Yeah, 2002. So
it was
right after Memento, Caleb's favorite movie of all time. So,
hooray.
Hooray.
Question mark?
Fuck, dude. BoJack Horseman, September 8th. Everybody watch it.
Can I please get some alcohol into my mouth?
That's my favorite line.
All right, so John's number 4 is Insomnia.
Insomnia.
Over to Dan.
Caleb, I love you. But my number 4 is Memento. I've watched this movie all of one time. I'll never watch it again.
Last night.
Yeah, pretty much. You know, I watched it one whole time, and that's all I ever needed out of this movie. I will never watch it again, but I felt like it was.
I think
told
that's why
well
I
enough.
hate it so much. Is just because I've seen it many times and kind of been forced to watch it multiple times. It's one of those things that you watch it and you're like, oh yeah, I get it. But like it doesn't fare well with repeat viewings.
Yeah, so and I think that's why it's held up so well for me is because I've only watched it one time. I felt like the nonlinear storytelling was good for the movie. I felt like it really enhanced the movie. Otherwise, other than it being shot in black and I'm pretty sure it's shot in black and white. I could be wrong about that.
I think they're just like flashback scenes or
the reverse chronology story. I believe is told in black and white. It's been a while since I've seen it.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've seen it too, and like I said, I've only seen it one time. So it stuck out enough with me that I was happy with what I saw and thought it was a pretty good movie. You know, I wouldn't say it's one of the best of all time like some people would, but it's solid.
I agree. I love you, Caleb. I'm gonna cuddle with you so hard.
Thanks, Nick.
He's gonna fucking kill me. All right.
Thanks, Ridley Scott.
I'm gonna kill myself.
Thank you, Walt Disney Channel.
I'm gonna kill myself.
Quesadillas are my medicine.
Caleb,
this cheese is burning me.
I mean, I guess The Dark Knight Rises, a 3-hour Batman movie where Batman puts in about 22 minutes of screen time and is knocked over easily and doesn't perform background checks on his like housemaids and shit.
Ah, god damn.
It's not very good.
It's not good at all. At all.
The plot of the film doesn't matter. All that matters is our plan.
Get out of here.
God. Get up on out of here with my eye holes.
All right. Well, we will kick it back over to Justin for your number 3.
Get up on out of here with my eye hole.
All right. So my number 3 is hard to place because I just saw it today, but it is Dunkirk. At number 3. So
that movie Dan hates.
The movie that Dan hates, but he can't explain why. I mean, it's without a doubt one of it's without a doubt if you were to watch all 10 of his movies in his top 5. But I haven't really decided where is the best placement for it because I need to watch it again without lots of coffee in me and see if I agree with my first opinion on it. But I think it's an excellent movie. Like we heard us talk about it a lot. And it's one you should see in the theater. So I loved it. Caleb, go see it. So there you go.
I'll think about it.
Caleb, don't go see it. Who are you gonna trust?
Well, there it is.
I want you guys to do.
I'm not gonna trust Shock Top Justin. That's for sure.
Shock Top, call me up.
Miller Lite Milkshake Caleb instead.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm clearly a person who's got his life straightened out.
Nothing you say makes sense, Caleb.
That's kind of my MO.
All right, well, I'm going to jump in here with my number 3, and it's a film. Jesus Christ! No, it's Inception. Guys.
Yee.
It's the YouTube video 10 hours of Yee. No, we won't do it again. Yee. No, it's. I mean, the film literally is like 90% exposition. It's like 90% just trying to explain to you what Inception is. But Nolan does it in such a way that he makes it engaging and it really invests you in it. Leonardo DiCaprio, I think, is fucking great in the film. And you've also got Tom Hardy. This was his first collaboration with Nolan. And I just love this movie. I think it's fantastic. I mean, probably minus maybe Dan's favorite actress of all time.
Fuck Ellen Page. She is the biggest piece of shit in everything I've ever seen.
She's not really all that, you know.
She needs to jump off a bridge and spare us for the rest of our lives.
Thanks, Dan.
If she wasn't in that movie, who would ask all the questions? So think about that.
Literally
Dan.
Anybody else. Any other actress on planet Earth could have. January Jones could have asked the questions, and I would have been fine with it.
Let's not go that far. Jesus Christ. Then I probably would have wanted to shoot myself. Talentless. Sorry.
Good old Fox and Brian.
But yeah, like I said, I think the film is fantastic. I love Marion Cotillard in this film as well. I think she's great. And just the way that, especially Zimmer's soundtrack for this film, the way he slows down the music as they get deeper into the different levels of the dream and things like that. I mean, this has birthed the score for fucking, what, 1 million movie trailers since Bwomp.
Bwomp.
Yeah. That's it, man. That's my number 3, Inception. So back over to John.
My number 3 is going to be Batman Begins. It's going to be the first Batman trilogy movie. I'm going to have to go with that one because, I mean, like you said, I'm going to agree with you on all your talking points. I mean, I like the way that he brought it in. The story was actually well done. The kind of throws to year one I really enjoyed and all that. And at the same time, Raish was fucking great. And I just love Michael Caine. Michael Caine is great anytime you see him.
Except for in The Dark Knight Rises, where he's just like peace the fuck out and comes back at the end of the movie.
You ever notice how Michael Caine's name sounds like My Cocaine?
Whoa.
Well, a ruby the size of a tangerine.
I mean, obviously he's on his cocaine. That's why he's talking about a ruby the size of a tangerine.
Dan and
makes
Nick.
Sense.
Dan and Nick, where was Michael Caine in Dunkirk? He was in there. Did you? He was talking to Hardy and another one of the guys on the radio.
Yeah, but
that was him on the radio.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yep. There you go, Michael Caine.
I will also be damned. Yeah, fantastic, John. Awesome. Batman Begins. And Dan.
We're number 3?
Number 3.
Yeah, Batman Begins.
Is it because of
I have nothing, I literally have nothing else to add. You guys have literally said everything else you can say about that movie. I don't know. We're getting to the point where, because I'm last, I will have the last thing to say on everything, and then you guys will have said everything I have to say about these movies.
Damn it, Dan.
Exactly.
All right, Caleb, do you have a number 3?
My number 3 was The Dark Knight Rises.
Oh, that's right. For some reason, I thought I pitched that to you as number 4, but okay. Well, why don't we pitch it back around to you for number 2? Do you have a number 2?
My number 2 will be The Dark Knight.
Nice.
He's going in reverse order. I hate him already.
So, talking about films with elements of philosophy in them, the opening bank heist scene is like a textbook description of game theory. Like, it's so awesome watching that scene and just seeing how like one character makes a choice and then it influences everybody else's decisions and kind of forces the hand of the other characters in the bank heist. Like, I could just watch that scene over and over ad infinitum. It's great. And the movie in general doesn't have all of the ridiculous plot contrivances of The Dark Knight Rises, so that's pretty good. Also, Heath Ledger does a magic trick with a pencil.
And it's gone.
Oh, you know what I like?
Man.
I like gunpowder and gasoline. And you know what these things have in common? They're cheap.
They're cheap.
Oh, man. I love it. What the hell? Oh, Ashley saw me blowing my finger on the live stream. Back over to Justin for your number 2.
Blowing your finger, huh? All right.
Yeah.
My number 2 is also the Dark. My number 2 is also the Dark Knight. So, yeah, pretty much a perfect film. I don't like the ending that much.
Are we agreeing on something?
Fuck you. Get off my show.
I know that Nick loves that ending, but I wanted more for Two-Face than just falling off, like 6 foot landing onto the ground.
Too,
I just everything before that was so strong that I just wanted something better at the end there. But other than that, I love the Dark Knight. I think it's great. So nothing much more to say. Number 2.
Well, I'm gonna keep the Dark Knight train rolling here. It is also my number 2, and the last 10 minutes
Memento's
of this movie,
your number 1.
I told you it was. The last 10 minutes of this movie are literally fucking cinematic perfection. Go fuck yourself, Justin. I'm one of those people. I love Ledger as Joker, don't get me wrong, but I actually really, really love what Aaron Eckhart did as Two-Face more. And of course, the film follows his character arc throughout, and I love that character's descent from being the White Knight to being the villain at the end of the film. I think it's fantastic. And Zimmer's score in that film also is incredible. Absolutely incredible. That like off chord that he uses for the Joker's theme, whatever the Joker's about to pop up or what, so fucking perfect. It's absolutely amazing. Yeah, also my number 2. And John, over to you. I'm guessing your number 2 is Jurassic Park, or
as a matter of fact, it was going to be Coneheads, but I didn't think I could work it in here.
Christopher Nolan saw
it
that
worked
once, I think.
I'm pretty sure he saw it somewhere along the line, but no.
We shall remunerate with metallic tender discs.
But no, I'm gonna keep the Dark Knight trade rolling because I'm actually gonna go that was my number 2 as well.
There it is.
And I honestly have to agree with Justin. I'm not a big fan of the fact that Two-Face got like 10 minutes of screen time and then died after a 2-story fall. Like, he didn't just break his fucking leg. He didn't just like break an arm. This motherfucker flat died like he had fallen 40 fucking stories.
Why do you want to kill me?
Oh God!
I mean,
why do you want to kill me? Where's Harvey Dent?
Burned half his fucking face off, but he falls like 6 feet down and dies. It's crazy.
Harvey, gotta help me. Two-Face here.
Oh my God! Well, Dan, yeah, are you gonna keep this Dark Knight train running? Ashley
Fuck
made a good
no,
point
you
over
guys
there
are
in the chat.
fucking stupid. Are you serious right now?
Oh my God!
Are you dumb? Are you all dumb? Do you actually think Inception's a better movie than Dark Knight? You're wrong. You're just straight up wrong.
Well, you're really gonna have a problem with my number 1.
Inception is not. I know because
John's
all you
number
have
1
Inception.
is Suicide Squad.
Exactly. No, every single one of you has Inception as your number 1. It's not true.
Inception was my number 3, Dan.
I don't care about you. You don't count as a person.
Damn. What is your number 2 then?
My number 2 is Inception.
So you're I love that you're arguing one placement on a 10-movie list.
I want to point out here something. Paul does worse. Paul has done worse things on the countdown, okay? Inception is not better than The Dark Knight by any stretch of the imagination, ever. It's just not.
Man.
It's just not.
Well, that's why this is a favorites list and not a fucking best list, Dan.
Yeah,
Shut
fuck
up.
you, everybody. But Dan.
Well, good thing my list is best and favorite, so get fucked.
What was that, Dan? What'd you say?
I said get fucked.
So Dan's number 2 then is Inception.
Is it Inception? Yeah. I mean, like it's a good movie. It's a good thriller movie that has good acting elements from Leo, Tom Hardy, Joseph Gordon-Levitt. Not Ellen Page. Ellen Page can go fucking jump off a cliff and never be heard from again, and I'd be happy. And fuck her. But otherwise, I enjoyed Inception for what it is. It's just not Nolan's best movie.
All right, Dan. Man. All right. Well, we already know Caleb's number 1 is Memento, so we can skip over.
So cool.
Caleb, you're number 1.
Batman Begins.
Yep.
Dan, I swear to God.
Sorry.
It's Batman Begins. How could it be anything else? It's probably shit. I'm trying to think of a better, like a comic book film that I like more. Maybe Dread. But
Batman Homecoming.
What?
Batman Homecoming. That's.
I haven't seen it. Haven't seen it yet.
But you will though.
Spider-Man 2.
Sure.
Spider-Man 3.
But I mean, Man of Steel's up there. I'm with you on that, Nick. But no, Batman Begins is very, very good. It's
easy, John. Easy.
Shit. Yeah, it's we've already ran it into the ground. But no, it's a very good movie. It's yeah. I'm grasping for something that hasn't already been said, and I'm not coming up with much.
He's like that train scene where they're fighting, and then that damn thing, he stops that train. It's fucking amazing, man.
Oh yeah,
just couldn't get enough of it.
Like when everybody on the prison island or whatever is like tripping balls, and he flies over, and it's like the fucking demon thing, or like they see him with his face melting and shit. Scarecrow is such a great villain.
Yeah, I love Scarecrow.
Too bad they put him in the Job Squad for the next 2 movies.
Yeah. Oh, having him fucking show up in Rises was a fucking joke. But then again, that whole movie was like, how? Yeah. Okay, how the fuck did Commissioner Gordon not figure out that Bruce Wayne was Batman? Like, even the retarded kid played by Joseph Gordon-Levitt figured it out.
We're not supposed to use that word.
It'll get cut out in post.
Hey, they said that they were going to take that word back.
You're not supposed to use the word kid. You're supposed to refer to them as children.
They're kids.
All right.
Kid means goat. That's offensive.
Well, yeah, that is
children.
Caleb's
That's
number
too
1.
fancy a word.
Let's go kick it over to Justin for your number 1.
So I guess Dan was directly talking to me because other than myself,
just in general, you're all idiots.
No,
except for Nick and Caleb.
Who else did you? Well, my number 1 is Inception. Dan can fuck right off because he's acting like I put it number 10, or I put Dark Knight at number 10 and Inception at number 1 when he put Inception at number 2. It's one placement there, Dan.
Just
one
placement. You not like the Dark Knight, but you
better
can't explain
than
why.
the Dark Knight, and it's not.
I fucking hate the Dark Knight so much that it's number 2, right behind Inception.
Yeah.
So
I don't see the problem here.
Oh my god.
You got a little fight in ya. I like that.
Inception works on many levels, guys, and that's why I love it.
How many levels? Is it
really
3 levels? Is it the amount of dream
At
levels
least
they
4.
go into?
Infinite levels. It's a
At
heist
least
film.
4.
It's like a fucked up sci-fi film. Ellen Page is awesome. She's my favorite actress.
No. She's
not
nobody's
really.
favorite actor. She's a garbage can. I could have put a dumpster on screen put some makeup on it, threw a wig on it, and it would have done the exact same thing as fucking Ellen Page.
I want to see this dumpster.
Also,
It's
my
the
favorite
Hope
Leo.
Six dumpster.
It's my favorite Leo film. So I picked it in the fantasy movie draft Leo that I won. By the way, I don't know if you guys heard. So Inception, number 1, great fucking film. Dark Knight's fucking number 2. Dan, shut up.
I just want to point out you didn't win your Leo draft by as much as you should have. And
Well.
that's not a slight at you. That's a slight at every idiot voter who voted for your wife.
We're gonna put Dan on one and see how he does. It's gonna be interesting.
Considering that I've won all of my fantasy leagues, I'll kill you all.
All right, there you go.
Man. All right, well, Dan's gonna kill me. My number 1's fucking Dunkirk, man.
I don't care.
Yes, that movie was fucking incredible.
I gave up
Call
hope for
recency
you as soon
bias.
as you were like Inception number 3, and I'm like,
Yeah.
well,
I agree with you,
this
Dan.
up.
Inception's not a better movie than The Dark Knight. But neither one of them is a better movie than Dunkirk, which was like fucking cinematic perfection to me. Just every single thing that I possibly could have dreamed of was up there on that fucking screen. It was absolutely breathtaking. I fucking loved it, man. Yeah, number 1. And John's going with Rugrats.
Going with Rugrats.
That's a good movie. Shut the
Take
fuck
Manhattan.
up. I'm actually going with Rugrats 2 in Paris.
Nice.
That's also okay.
So, but yeah, no, my number 1's actually The Prestige. I mean, I fucking love this movie.
Where are you at with this one, Dan?
I mean, The Prestige isn't on my list at all, so...
That's what I'm saying. Shouldn't you be
No,
madder
you
about
Drive to
this?
Tennessee and fucking kill you.
You telling me to go fuck myself?
Yeah, probably. I tell everyone to go fuck themselves at some point, so, yeah, sure.
Yeah, just he's like, just turn it into a sound drop, slide it in there, make some post-it
That's all
notes.
you gotta do, man.
I'm gonna get some badges.
Oh man, guys.
Just fuck you, bye, Dan.
Guys, I wonder what Dan's number 1 is.
Little do
Man
you
of
know
Steel.
that actually... Little do you
Man
actually
of
know that
Steel.
it's actually done.
Little do you know, it's following from 1997.
It's Memento.
Number 4, you idiot. Listen to me talk.
It's so good he picked it twice.
It's Uno Memento.
Jesus.
That's a tremendous joke. You're welcome.
Oh, good for you.
It's actually Doodlebug.
Oh Jesus.
It's Doodlebug.
It's on his filmography. He's
Yep, it
listed
is.
as the
It is.
producer, writer, and other. Whatever other is.
It's a short film from 1997.
He plays Doodlebug.
Along with
Oh man.
Okay. In a ratty flat, a man is on his hands and knees, holding a shoe by its toe, trying to kill a bug of some sort that so far has managed to evade him. He keeps up the chase and whacks at it a few times. Then we get a look at what he's been trying to flatten. In what sort of universe have we found ourselves? Who's in danger? That's the fucking synopsis of it.
Oh my
Oh, it's-
god! Hold on. Here's the plot according to Wikipedia. The story concerns a grungy man in a filthy apartment. He's anxious and paranoid, trying to kill a small bug-like creature that is scurrying on the floor. It is revealed that the bug resembles a miniature version of himself. He squashes the bug with his shoe. However, every movement the doodlebug makes is later matched by the man himself, and he's later squashed by a larger version of himself. Are you kidding me? Fuck you, Christopher Nolan.
Fuck you.
This is on YouTube. I'm watching this shit. This is amazing. This is number 1. This is my number 1 now. Doodlebug.
It's new number 1.
Is it on YouTube? I gotta find this.
It's 3
Existence
minutes.
is pain.
It's 3 minutes long. Black and white.
You gotta send me
Short
that
film.
link.
Just fucking
It's
Google
getting weird.
Doodlebug.
I
Dan.
just want to die.
That's it. We're all
How's
going
that ice cream going?
right now.
I'm not. Yeah, I'm totally looking at it right now. Like
Oh.
these damn like it is this motherfucker's eyes.
So it's
as
like
the
so it's
O's.
like Inception. He keeps like being crushed by a bigger version of himself. They just go another level up.
At first, I was like, so it's like Joe's
Wow.
apartment. He just gets infested by roaches, to which he becomes the Roach King.
Oh god!
Well, I won't feel right if we don't throw this up on the live stream for everybody to see. So I'm gonna go ahead and throw it up there.
Is that actually Christopher Nolan?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a short film.
Yeah, that looks like him. Kindish.
Oh man.
Or hell.
Nice wife beater, dude.
So wait a minute. What's Dan's number one again?
Doodlebug.
Doodlebug. Who cares?
Doodlebug. Doodlebug.
You know what Dan's number one is. Don't be silly. Ooh, well. You know what Dan's number one is.
Memento, a Doodlebug.
Dan, what's your number one?
Oh, my number one is The Dark Knight. It's not even a question. This is
what?
This is the best movie
no
one has ever done.
What are you, a fucking moron?
I'm shocked. Shocked.
Cocaine's a hell of a drug.
Sound check.
Doodlebug. Ooh.
Oh my god. I already hate this.
What a pompous douchebag. Jesus Christ. Look, I'm hard to see. It's in black and white.
Enough. No more.
This is the same pedigree of acting that made Troll 2 such a hit.
Man, I love that this 3-minute runtime is eaten up by a lot of long shots of him just looking around.
Right?
Oh yeah.
That seemed like an appropriate reaction.
What? Putting it in the fishbowl?
Yeah.
Fuck.
Enough.
Really? That's fucking so stupid. Jeremy Theobald.
No more. But there's like a minute left. Look, it's pulling a piece of paper or something
so
across the floor. Oh, he moved that shoe. Oh, there's some boxer shorts, man. Ooh, they got polka dots on them. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, snap. Oh.
This movie is such a...
Bwah. There's the Hans Zimmer score kicking in. Bwah.
Oh my god.
Why is he dancing over himself?
No.
This was one of the worst things I've ever seen in my life.
B5-O-Fum.
I smell the blood of...
Oh shit!
Oh my god, damn!
I smell the breach of civil liberties.
Oh man. There we go. So anybody want to sub out Doodlebug for any of their placements on their list? Caleb, I guess this would by default be your number 5.
Yeah, it has to be.
This is now by default my number 5.
This moves up to my number 4, and Memento goes down to number 5.
The Dark Knight Rises now leaves my list and is replaced by Doodlebug.
Congratulations, Christopher Nolan. You've just reduced my intelligence by 25 whole points.
Oh my god, that was the worst thing I've ever seen in my life.
Oh my god.
That was god awful.
I don't think there's any real need to go into any honorable mentions since we've pretty much mentioned everything in his catalog. So, yeah, there you go. Top 5 Nolan
Everybody
flicks.
go search Doodlebug on YouTube.
Yeah,
I swear to God, you will love it.
It's in the show notes.
It's... Oh...
Don't.
You will love it.
Don't watch it.
Jesus Christ, what a shit pile.
We're gonna roll into one more break.
If you love the movie Requiem for a Dream, then you're going to love Doodlebug.
Yeah, I do love Requiem for a Dream, and I just kind of looked sideways at that whole Doodlebug thing. I was like, what? But
shh, you're supposed to make them believe it's fucking amazing, and then when it's terrible, you laugh.
John's honorable mentions for Christopher Nolan.
It's better than Transformers: The Last Night.
That is true. That was way better.
Cowboys versus Dinosaurs is better than Transformers: The Last Night.
I was about to say, fucking Doodlebug is trash. 7 out of 10.
We will go ahead, for me. And we're going to run into one more quick break. This is our featured actress, Viola Davis, and then we'll be right back to wrap out the show with John, Justin, Dan, and Caleb. We'll be right back.
Well, one of these segments is going to be a mini-sode because these are so long.
Oh, I already knew that going in.
I know what your next list is going to be. Top 5 moments from Doodlebug.
Moment number 1, the phone going into the fishbowl.
Right?
Oh, man. I mean, why wasn't there like a gigantic pair of boxer shorts on the normal size dude's
moments
head?
from Doodlebug. The end credits.
There should have been a gigantic pair of boxer shorts on top of the other guy's head.
So what was the thing with the eyes? Were they trying to mimic the lips from Rocky Horror?
I don't. It's best not to ask these kinds of questions, Caleb. Do you really want an answer? Do you?
Thank you, Christopher Nolan.
Okay, man. And everybody can just start recording again. We'll just buzz through. It's just the wrap out of the show. So.
I'm still
I
recording.
didn't even stop.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll just do a new mic check.
Oh, I stopped recording.
Yeah, that's fine. If you're still recording, keep recording. If you're not, start again.
Okay.
And then we will start with Justin for a sound check.
Check. Sound check.
And Dan?
Check. Sound check.
And Caleb?
Mortal Kombat for the Sega Genesis is the greatest video game ever made.
And John?
Damn it.
Oh.
Check. Sound check.
Get fucked.
Yeah.
I was hoping you would say, I disagree. It's a very good game, but I think that Donkey Kong is the best game ever made.
Oh my God.
That's so elaborate. How would anybody ever know that?
Because it's for Billy Madison.
Oh.
Donkey Kong sucks.
I
you know
thought
something,
about
you
it.
suck.
I thought about it.
I could hear the wheels turning.
Oh, man. You guys aren't going to believe this. I never hit record.
Is there a Doodlebug 2?
Wait, are you serious?
I don't know if there's a Doodlebug 2 or not, but I never hit record. So just keep recording, everybody.
Son of a bitch.
We'll do the sound checks one more time, starting with Justin.
Oh, I thought you meant in general.
Oh,
no, just for this segment. Just for this segment. Yeah, just for this segment.
That's why I never stop.
All right, Justin.
Check. Sound check.
Dan.
Check. Sound check.
Caleb.
Mortal Kombat for the Sega Genesis is the greatest video game ever made.
And John.
I think I have to disagree with you. I think that's going to have to be Donkey Kong.
Donkey Kong sucks.
You suck!
You suck!
I'll give you half of this banana for that snack pack.
Oh my God.
All right.
I thought I was your snack pack.
I used that line
What a weirdo.
in our show. I thought I was your snack
I
pack.
sucked a dick last night.
I think I remember that.
Bye, Ashley.
Bye, Ashley. Thank you very much for
Ashley.
coming back to the
Ashley.
live stream after your dad yelled at you to go to bed.
Go to sleep.
No. One dad yelled at her to go to bed, and the other yelled at her to get back on the fucking live stream.
Good point. Cool, man. All right. So, 5, 4, 3, 2. We're back, ladies and gentlemen. It's finally time to roll out this amazing, massive ass fucking megasode. God, we've had a blast tonight, guys. Have you had fun? Dan, Dan didn't have fun because Dan hated.
No, I hated
but he
Dunkirk
can't
so
tell us
much that
why.
I gave it a 7 out of fucking 10.
Yeah. Tonight was complete shit. 7 out of 10.
We all got to
Too
experience
much water.
Doodlebug.
7.8 out of 10.
That's too dang.
You guys ever feel like a phone receiver that got dropped into a fishbowl, but the fishbowl is life?
You ever feel like you're just crushing a smaller version of yourself all the time?
at least a solid 7 out of 10 times.
Oh, Jesus. All right, well, yeah.
God, Jesus.
These Megasodes are always such a really fun time. I'm really glad you guys could come out and, well, celebrate Christopher Nolan, some of us, and, others. I mean, I think we gave him equal parts shit in celebration tonight. We shat all
I
over
think
him for
I'm
his
his
Netflix
biggest
beliefs
detractor.
Interstellar's a flaming piece of shit. Don't watch that movie.
Fact.
Hey, he flew a rocket before he got paid to. He just liked how it feels.
Hey, that's what you should have told Ashley to
And
throw on
little
Interstellar.
unknown
She could have
fact.
fallen asleep right away. Would have knocked her right the fuck out. But yeah, I want to go around the horn here. Our audience knows where to find all you guys, but we'll buzz around really, really quick here and just let them know what your show is, where they can find you, who you are, what you do in this whole thing we call the PodFix Network. Get your fix at podfixnetwork.com. There you go, Chris. We'll start with Caleb and Dan.
Well, I'm a flasher, so that's what I bring to the table.
Do it. Wait, we'll get kicked off YouTube. Oh, shit. Nope, somebody's reporting us for porn right now. God damn it.
All right.
I keep getting older, they stay the same age.
All right.
But they are the Netflix and Swell podcast.
I'll blow the doors off.
Dan's mad at me. He's not going to just say what our show is.
No, I want you to do it because fuck you.
Yeah.
You should have had it written across your chest, and then when you just flashed us, we'd all would have seen it.
Yeah. I have Netflix on my one ass cheek and Swill on the other one. And like the N is like on a butt plug.
That's beautiful.
That's a good marketing idea.
Merch is important. Merch.
I'm an ideas guy,
I'll throw that to the thinkers and idea men behind anal lock.
We'll have to enable butt plugs on our Redbubble store.
I tried.
Which you can find by going to Redbubble and searching for Netflix N Swill. The letter N. Please buy our shit. Redbubble, give me free shit.
Oh, man. And, John, where are you from, man? What's your show all about?
Well, I'm about Redbubble giving me free shit, so won't you buy Caleb?
Hey, Redbubble, give John the entire Christopher Nolan discography, which is like 57 different movies.
Apparently.
Yeah, including Man of
Steel. Man,
Independence Day Resurgence.
Like little known fact that was found out here today. Zack Snyder did not actually direct Man of Steel. That was Christopher Nolan.
Man, I really hope they release
you can buy the Christopher Nolan 50,000 DVD box set for 25 schmeckles.
25 schmeckles? I don't know how much is that. Is that a lot? I hope they do.
That's
a 4K
how much I paid for these
of,
big fake boobies.
I hope they do a 4K remaster of Doodlebug so Justin can buy the 4K Blu-ray, and then tell us how it looks on his setup.
Oh my god!
Throw it on.
That sounds like something
as
Paul
an
would
Easter egg
do
for the Michael Jackson Thriller Blu-ray.
But yeah, John, tell us about Now in Technicolor. What's your show all about, man?
Shows about me, my buddy, and his wife. We all sit down and me and his wife make him watch a bunch of damn movies he's never seen. And sometimes movies that I guess I haven't seen, because the last one we did, I'd never seen the Jeremiah Johnson movie that we watched. But
oh shit, that's where I got my name from.
Really?
Yeah.
That's really cool, man. I also didn't know that's where that fucking gif of like it coming in for Robert Redford and him doing that like smile and nod shit. So that was really cool to find out. But yeah, no, that's the general basis of it. We're Now in Tech pod.weebly.com, Now in Tech pod on fucking Twitter, and just search Now in Technicolor podcast and you'll fucking find us.
All right.
All right.
Justin, tell us about how much your wife trolls you every single week over on So I Made a Movie Geek.
I love it.
Frequently. Happens frequently. So, yeah, Google So I Married a Movie Geek. We're everywhere. At Movie Geekcast on Twitter. And the main thing to put on your calendar is July 31st, because that's when our fantasy movie versus fantasy movie draft between the Epic Film Guys and the Countdown movie and TV reviews is going to be released out into the wild. And looking forward to that highly. So, yay.
It's going to be hot.
So, what do you think is worse? What do you think's worse? Chrissy's fudge or my chocolate stout?
Well,
chocolate stout, probably.
to actually taste your chocolate stout, Caleb, but I'm gonna go with Chrissy's fudge. It's kind of gross. So,
Justin,
no beer.
I want your
no beer in that. So
yeah, I want
her
your next
fudge is
movie
literally just a
snack
bunch
or-
of gritty ass sugar.
It's not
just
sugar.
want
It's
Justin's-
brown sugar Splenda blend.
fake,
It's
fake
Splenda
ass
in the
butter.
raw.
How
Fake
is your
ass
wife
butter.
not
So
dead?
it's fake sugar.
I just don't understand how
It's
Justin
fake
has
sugar and plastic
a
butter.
living wife. Because she
She's,
should be dead, or never have existed because she wouldn't have met him because she got the diabetes and then died from the diabetes.
Diabetes.
It's a
It's so
surprise to
official,
me as well.
Diabetes.
So, yeah, a lot of sugar. Don't try it.
Ooh,
So.
my God.
I feel like my wife is salt. She's a shit ton of salt. Like literally, if I try to eat her food, I think I'll have an instant heart attack from the amount of salt that's on there.
All right, and of course you can find us literally everywhere on the web at Epic Film Guys. And I would just want to take the time to thank all you guys for showing up for the Nolan Megasode. Some part of this is going to get cut apart as its own little mini-sode. I don't know what it is. Ashley's back online, guys, on Skype. I don't know what she's doing.
Liar.
Somebody tell her to go to bed.
Ashley, go to bed.
Vanessa,
yeah,
turn down.
You guys are amazing. Thank you guys so much for being here. It's always such a treat when I get to have a number of great guests on the show. So I love all your shows. You guys are all absolutely amazing. I can't wait to fucking trounce Paul and Wayne with victorious anger on the versus movie draft. Yeah, we're recording that tomorrow. Actually, the day after we're recording this, so I get to hear Justin's beautiful, beautiful voice not once but twice this week.
Yeah.
Oh man. So yeah, anybody want to throw anything else out there before we roll out the show? Get it out there now.
Thanks for having me on.
You're welcome.
I
love
I
you.
really appreciate it. I like doing this every 2 to 3 months because it takes so fucking long to record this that's pretty much I get my fill from it. But
we've only been live streaming for 3 hours and 45 minutes, Caleb.
Yeah,
Jesus Christ.
The Christopher Nolan Megasode definitely made sense to have me on. So thanks.
You answered
You're
the call.
the perfect candidate.
That's all it had to be.
All I want to say.
You answered the call.
All I want to say is thanks to Nick for having me on for 3 weeks in a row. So that was something. And if you're tired of hearing me, or if you love hearing me, go to our Twitter page where I have a poll up right now, where you can tell me if you love hearing me on the Film Guys or not.
Dan, I'm going to sneak you in. You're in every episode anyway, whether you want to be or not.
I mean, that's true.
Everybody vote him off Epic Film Guys because I don't want his self-esteem to go up any. I need him to be.
My self-esteem still.
I
right
want him
now
to
could
be
not
a
be lower.
broken and therefore malleable person, so that I can subject him to torture on my own show.
Torture like
No,
the 4
because
Sharknado movies you watched.
I've already put my foot down on the 5th Sharknado movie. There's no ever watching that again.
Oh my god.
Ever.
Well, you say that.
I say that, and I mean it. We're never watching it. You can watch it all you want. I'm not.
God damn it.
Down with Sharknado.
Justin, you should get Chrissy to watch all the Sharknado movies. You guys should review them all.
Oh God.
Actually,
Please?
I would actually come onto your show for that episode.
Oh man, I don't know about that.
You guys
They're
know
all-
Shark Kibble?
they're all
Shark
on
Kibble
Netflix.
can be the mystery snack challenge, and it's just random viscera and body parts. Whatever.
Gross.
Yeah.
It's gross.
What would it be better than Chrissy's fudge? Is the question.
Yes.
Signs point to yes.
Oh man.
Why don't you ask me later?
Oh,
why don't you make sure to check the Magic 8 Ball?
You gentlemen are all beautiful. PodFix is beautiful. I absolutely love being in the network with you guys and all the other amazing shows that are part of this network. So thank you guys all very, very much for being here. Thank you guys out there for tuning into the show. Thank you to our amazing sponsors, 3 of which are on the show right now. Justin, Caleb.
Yeah, John.
And
get
Dan.
on
yeah,
in that.
Fuck you,
shit.
John.
All right, goddamn, man. I got 3 kids. I'm broke as shit.
Destruction in human
That's
form.
your own
Pull
fault.
out.
That was my own fault.
Get a vasectomy like Caleb.
Justin, you can't laugh.
The boy
too
can't
much. You only
miss.
have 2.
I've got 2, and I'm just going at the lowest level possible, John. That's the secret.
What does that mean? Are you like right by the
harass.
ocean as
It
you
means harass.
enter your wife? Is that what you're trying to say?
It means
No,
anal.
I'm talking about being a Patreon.
It means anal.
Yeah. It means anal. Yeah. It means anal.
Lots of anal.
It's exclusively hand and mouth stuff.
Anal in like the Inception, the basement of Inception, like the lowest level dream. So there you go.
I mean, that's the only place I
$2
have sex, so sure.
That's where
Stan,
that's
I'm
where,
a butterfly. Oh, I'm
That's
gonna
where-
go get some sweet butterfly poon.
that's where Caleb hangs out with his fucking chocolate Miller Lite milkshakes and stuff. So
God. But yeah, also Destruction in Human Form, our resident kaiju expert, the Running Man, and Emily from The Story Behind. Thank you guys all for sponsoring this show. You guys are absolutely amazing. Justin will be back next week to tell us all about visiting Hans Zimmer and hearing him in concert. I'm sure he'll have some thoughts about Dunkirk as well, so we'll hear from him then. In the meantime, I want to thank you all very, very, very much for listening, and we will see you next Tuesday.
Next Tuesday.
He fucking did that shit last week too, and I got really pissed off with him.
At the movies. I just
Next
love you
Tuesday.
guys. I know when you're on the show. I know. I just know to preempt you guys now. It's
We
just
ripped
easier
off
that
your
way.
show. We specifically said we ripped off your show, so of course we're going to ape the shit out of your goddamn outro.
Oh man, if nobody else showed up on the show tonight, I was gonna go into it and be like, "What's your swill?"
Caleb actually probably would have sent you bumpers. He would have sent you bumpers faster than he would have sent me bumpers, which his power went out for well, it wasn't was it Sharknado or was it
It was the one before.
Yeah, his power goes out and I'm like, yo, just send me bumpers. That way I have them in case your power goes out. And he's like, but then you're just going to do the entire episode. And I'm just like, no, I don't want to do the entire episode. I just want the bumpers in case you die.
Also, I'd rather just like wait for my power to come back on and do it right than let you handle it.
I mean,
Jesus. Oh man, thank you everybody for tuning in on the live stream. If you are still watching this after the fact, or if anybody else is still in the live stream, I haven't checked it in quite a while. There's 5 people watching, but I'm sure that's probably just
us.
All of
Just
us. And
us.
somebody forgot to log out. Somebody forgot to log out when they were on it before. Damn it, Ashley.
Can I stop? This means we can stop.
Yeah, you can stop recording.
Yes.
Yeah, we're done, brother. We're done.
Yes.
Shut it down. Shut it
Hey,
down.
plug my
you didn't
headphones.
ask-
That means it's over.
Nick, you didn't ask me what I thought about Baby Driver and Apes. Do you want to record for another 7 hours?
All right, everybody give me a sound check. Let's go.
This is vital information. All right.
All right, hold on.
Actually,
Check.
Caleb, I wanted to know what
Check.
you thought of Baby Driver. Anyway.
Sound check. All right,
About Baby Driver?
Yeah, what did you think of it?
Loved it.
Yeah, I was
Piece of
fucking
shit.
hoping you would.
It was a lot more action packed than I thought. Yeah, I'm not used to
fucking stunt
like the
driving in
super
that
high
movie was
action
fucking incredible.
for Mega Right, but oh yeah, that was great.
They
What about
parter.
War?
War was great. I would put that like between Rise and Dawn probably. Very like it was note perfect like for how they should have ended Caesar's story arc
agree.
though.
I agree.
It was great. And Maurice didn't die, and I said if Maurice died, I'd fucking burned down the theater, so that's good. I'm not
burn down your theater
now.
Oh man. I gotta finish our war review. I'll probably drop it Sunday. We recorded it the day after the last episode, but there was no way I was gonna try to shoehorn it in there. Oh man. Justin, were you trying to say that before? Do you love me?
Yeah, I gotta go take out my dog, guys. I gotta run.
All right, peace, man.
Dog
Thank you for being
too?
on. I love you.
Love you guys. It was fun.
Easy, man.
Later.
Peace.
Later, bud.
Goodbye, soundboard.
I sucked a dick last
We know
night.
you did.
I sucked a dick last night.
Fucking Justin. Yeah, thank you all very much, live stream. We're going to go ahead and stop the stream in 3, 2...